The Xiaomi 12T Pro combines a premium spec sheet with safe styling to hit a competitive price despite its mighty 200 megapixel main camera. Highlights include its 120-watt fast charging, adaptive 120Hz AMOLED screen, and an ample 5000 mAh battery, but with Motorola's similar H30 Ultra already available and impressing us with features missing from the 12T Pro. We are interested to see how Xiaomi's 200 megapixel camera phone stacks up to its main competition. Xiaomi's 12T Pro is the first 200 megapixel camera phone from the firm that brought us the Mi Note 10, the world's first 108 megapixel camera phone, and the Xiaomi 12S Ultra, one of the first examples of a 1-inch sensor in a smartphone. Peeped to the post by Motorola and its excellent H30 Ultra, Xiaomi's 12T Pro isn't quite the first 200 megapixel camera phone we have seen, but that doesn't mean it isn't an attention-grabbing alternative. Costing less than a Motorola H30 Ultra, it still crams in Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 flagship power, a smooth 120Hz AMOLED screen, a large 5000 mAh battery, and nippy 120-watt wired charging. Xiaomi's clearly kept the price down by dialing back the design when compared to the Xiaomi 12 Pro. The Xiaomi 12T Pro, which launches alongside the 12T, has a plastic frame and a flat display as opposed to metal and curved glass. Its secondary cameras are also relatively weak on paper, with low resolutions and smaller sensors. On the subject of price, the 12T Pro is set to cost €699 in the UK, roughly $790 If you get in early with a pre-order too, you can enjoy an early bird offer available between 20 to 24 of October and pick up the 12T Pro and a new Redmi Pad for just €599. If you got a chance to use the Xiaomi 11T Pro, you will remember its silvery polished, almost gunmetal-like finish. It looks fun, but it wasn't particularly refined, something that's changed this time around. The Xiaomi 12T Pro has a curved glass back with a frosted finish that subtly diffuses light and doesn't cling onto fingerprints too readily. The phone is relatively big with its 6.7-inch screen, and it isn't light at 205 grams. That said, when compared to the hefty 240-gram iPhone 14 Pro Max, it's still manageable. Despite looking like a flagship from the back, when you get the 12T Pro on your hand, you will notice its plastic frame and flat screen instantly dial back the premium factor. Sat alongside the Motorola H30 Ultra, its less refined package too feels more robust. At the base of the phone is a USB-C port and a SIM tray, which makes 2 SIM cards. All the buttons are on the right side, and at the top is an IR blaster. The phone has commanding speaker holes at the top and bottom for the Harman Kardon tuned sound, and around the back is prominent camera bump. With its 6.7-inch 20:9 screen, the Xiaomi 12T Pro is a tall handful. It has a punch-hole selfie camera in the top center of the display, and there's a pre-fitted screen protector too, atop a flat Gorilla Glass 5 panel. Xiaomi doesn't load the 12T Pro with a generic 120Hz screen. This is an AMOLED dot display with an adaptive refresh rate that switches automatically 30Hz, 60Hz, 90Hz, and 120Hz, promising from a battery saving point of view. It also benefits from a 480Hz touch sampling rate, so is super responsive, which should make the 12T Pro ideal for gamers. If we are underwhelmed by anything about the 12T Pro's screen, it's the brightness. Capping out at 500 nits when setting it manually and 900 nits in high brightness mode, it falls behind some of the brightest beamers out there. With Dolby Vision and HDR10 Plus credentials, as well as an in-display fingerprint scanner too, the 12T Pro's display still has some flagship flourishes that help it stand out for the right reasons. The headline feature of the Xiaomi 12T Pro is its 200 megapixel camera, and it's seriously impressive, both on paper and in the flash. Measuring 1 by 1.22 inches, its sensor is physically larger than the new primary sensor of the iPhone 14 Pro Max, which is mighty given the price difference between the two phones. A large sensor size usually means superior low-light photography and shallower depth of field, and in our short time with the 12T Pro, it definitely delivers on the second count. Its photos of objects captured nearer than 40 cm away are loaded with background blur. Getting into a few more specs, the Xiaomi 12T Pro's main camera sensor is a Samsung ISOCELL HP1 with 0.64 micron pixels. If you speak camera lingo, that might sound small, but given the huge pixel count of the sensor, it combines 16 pixels into one to create a 2.56 micron pixel super pixel, producing 12 megapixel photos by default. The main camera's lens has an f1.69 aperture and features 8 elements, shooting with an 85-degree field of view. More impressive is the fact that 12T Pro's main camera packs OIS and can record video up to 8K resolution. Despite covering the 12T Pro's 200 megapixel primary camera in great detail, the second camera don't warrant much an in-depth overview. The 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera brings nothing new to the table with its small 1x4-inch sensor size and 120-degree field of view, and the 2 megapixel macro camera seems like a poorly spec'd filter. As for selfies, the 12T packs a 20 megapixel front camera with f2.24 aperture. With Android 12 out of the box, the Xiaomi's MIUI 13 over the top, anyone who is used a Xiaomi, Redmi or Poco phone in the last 12 months will know roughly what to expect from the 12T Pro software. The fact the phone runs Android means app support is excellent and you can expect a base level of security from Google. Unlike Huawei phones, the Xiaomi 12T Pro runs with the Google Play Store out of the box, so getting apps on board is easy. Xiaomi supplements the Android experience with a heavily skinned UI. It borrows some elements from iOS like the control center, and it also adds features to the mix such as a virus scanner, for example, every time you install an app. While it's clear Xiaomi tries to add loads of value in its UI, fans of simpler, stripped-back interfaces will prefer iOS or more stock Android found on Google and Motorola phones. The Xiaomi 12T Pro also runs with a last-gen version of Android, with Android 13 already available on some phones like the Oppo Find X5 Pro. Along with the high-resolution camera with its big sensor, the Xiaomi 12T Pro's most impressive spec could well be its storage capacity. The phone ships with 256GB as a standard in the UK, loads of space for all of your files, photos, games and more. With 8GB of RAM, it should multitask smoothly across apps too, even with Xiaomi's aggressive battery manager. Also attention-grabbing is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chipset powering the 12T Pro, the same processor found in the ROG Phone 6 and 6 Pro, our favorite gaming phones out now. With the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 performing so much better than the original 8 Gen 1 when it comes to heat management, this could make the 12T Pro the best Xiaomi phone out now for gamers. With a 5000 mAh battery, the Xiaomi 12T Pro packs a competitive capacity that should ensure it makes it through a full day without any issues, especially with the phone's relatively pared back screen brightness. With 120-watt wired charging, Xiaomi claims you can power up the 12T Pro in as little as 19 minutes, and there's a fast charger in the box too. The only thing missing as far as we are concerned is wireless charging, but if the idea of day-long power and nippy power-ups are more important to you, the Xiaomi 12T Pro should still float your boat.